All right. Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another exciting episode of Jody Forgets How Technology Works and Doesn't Turn the Sound on It First. Otherwise known as the Kingdom of the Kael Isles. Yes, this is my custom D&D campaign, one of them. And the players below me are the players in the game. One of these days, I'm actually going to get this intro and make it sound like I don't come up with it every single week with like 2 seconds of planning. So yeah, um, let's dive directly back into the game. Uh, Last week, you guys started exploring the lair of an emerald dragon. As you went down there, you guys very quickly discovered that things are not always what they appear to be in an emerald dragon's lair. And you met a mimic who decided to have some fun with the party. And as you guys
Oh, that was a mimic.
and Kata has just figured out what it was. Uh,
Katsa had a working moment.
Intelligence with sex, what can I say? I
um,
mean, not 6, 8.
so as you guys have continued to explore this kind of labyrinthian dungeon, you've discovered a lot of the pathways will end in dead ends, and a lot of times doorways will loop back on themselves and things like that. So you've been trying to figure out exactly where you're going. Last week, you came to a relatively large room, 110 feet by 90 feet, and it had 6 different entrances that you could explore. And you guys went and explored. I believe you explored everything but the southwest south corner, and I think you guys started exploring the northeast door, right?
I can't remember.
Cool.
Hello, I
Let's
assume you've been keeping.
So I have the east ones we covered, and they weren't anything. We did one of the south side doors, and we still have the southeast door. We started down that path, got a few turns out,
Cool.
if that makes sense.
Thank God for a wizard.
Awesome. So let's dive right back into it. I can't get. There we go. Let's do that. Some mood music. All right. So, heading down this pathway, you notice it goes for about. It only goes for about 30 feet and then takes a sharp turn to the right. And as you guys go and explore, as you go around that corner, you are presented with something that makes you at first grip your weapons and get ready for battle until you realize it's not moving. Set into the wall in front of you is this demonic looking statue. It is a full 10 feet tall, fills the entire passageway. and a full 5 feet wide, like it just barely fits into the the room, and you can see it has this massive mouth full of rows of sharp teeth and this tongue that's just hanging out of the side. The eyes seem to reflect the light you guys have and glisten a little bit. And the rest of the creature, it has 4 large arms. The top 2 end in claws, while the bottom ones end in actual hands. And then the legs are massive tree trunk sized legs.
Okay.
Can we tell if it's like the same as the creature we fought before?
Do you mean the mimic? The thing that changed from the gear?
Yeah.
Sure. Make an investigation check.
Yeah, because that is going to go quite well. Not as bad as I usually do. 11?
So, looking it over, the one kind of telling sign you remember from the last one is the creature did breathe, and it presented itself as the webs on it were moving as if there was a breeze. With this, there's nothing moving on it. As you look it over, not only is nothing moving, but the detail is striking. You can see the veins popping out of its arms. You can even see little nicks and things on its torso, some on its face, as if it had been in a fight. These don't look like nicks in this stone. They actually look like whomever carved this actually carved a battle damaged creature.
So you all remember what happened in that last room, right? When we looked at a thing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I don't want to touch this.
All right. So
Can I recommend patience? And maybe we hang around for a couple minutes and I start doing some words and some motions. Mm-hmm. And I'll see if I can detect any magical things around.
Okay. So Fade, as you start to focus, you go and you finish casting the ritual, and as you look, it seems to be stone.
I'm more interested in the room itself. Like I feel
you're technically not in a room. You're just at the end of a hallway. You've come to another dead end. And looking around, it's a hallway.
I hate this place.
So what are the chances we think it's actually a statue, or it's a thing that looks like a statue? Or it was a thing and now it's a statue?
That's my vote.
I can hit it.
And no moving.
Yet.
Yeah.
I can hit it.
I can shatter it. But if it's a creature, that's not going to go over well.
But it's stone.
The last thing also looked like it was living. So it might not really be stone.
Either way, it can still kick its ass if it's the case.
I just finished. I'm sitting on the ground. I just finished that ritual. And I say, "Go ahead." I stay sitting on the ground. Go smash it. Let's just find out what happens. This dragon wants us to play these games. We need its help. Let's appease its fucking ego and play these games.
I take a step back before Avok does that.
Oh boy.
Hey, I was gonna let you do something. I mean,
Oh, I thought you were gonna hit it. I can try something.
I can hit it, but if your magic can do some shit, then by all means.
Alright, everyone just take a step back. And she's gonna reach out and kind of cringe and cast Shatter at it. Just see what happens.
Now, just so you're aware, you're in a 5-foot by 10-foot hallway.
Yeah, we're all gonna have to take a step back here.
Yeah. It's only a 10-foot sphere. So if everyone takes a few steps back, it's fine.
Yeah. But it's sound damage in a stone hallway.
I'm mildly worried about the ceiling collapsing on us.
Oh,
Honestly.
yeah,
The shatter
that.
does thunder damage, which is sonic type damage.
Yeah.
I'm just
Trying to think of it.
painting the picture so
knowing that, then
you
maybe-
are as aware of it as you can be.
I mean, do it, but I'm gonna back the fuck up.
Well, if it collapses where we're going, I
Yeah.
would think it's more targeted than that.
It's a dead end.
But that's fair.
Yeah, but.
We don't know that.
It'll bring down the walls and show us the secret door.
So what do you want to do, Willow? This is yours.
I already said I was going to do it. I'll do it.
Okay.
Oh, no. Oh,
I plugged my ears first.
Yeah. So as you sit there and you let out the incantation required, you fire forth the sonic energy. It erupts, and I need everybody but Fade, because he prepped himself, to make me a con save.
Oh God, we didn't step back far enough.
No, we didn't cover our ears, is the thing.
Natural 20.
23.
Fuck your sound.
22.
Damn. So all of you guys, as Willow, as you fire it, you've been hit by a shatter at least once in your life. It is not a pleasant experience. The sound travels through your entire body. It shakes your bones. As you do this, you kind of get some of that, but the worst aspect of it is the hallway seems to just amplify the sound, and your ears instantly start hurting immeasurably. All of you guys go up and cover your ears, and when you take your hands down, there's a distinct ringing in all of your ears.
Okay.
However, none of you are deafened by it. It's just annoying. Willow, as you look back, as you kind of lost focus on what the spell was doing when this sound happened. As you look forward, the statue is broken into multiple pieces that are shattered to the ground in front of you. And just in front of it are two small, shiny red stones.
Yeah. The eyes, I figured. I'm gonna cast Mage Hand and pick one up. Like 10 plus feet from me and just kind of see if moving it does anything.
So as you pick up one of the gemstones, seems like a gemstone, from 10 feet away.
Sure. But moving it didn't do anything yet.
Nope. Nothing has happened so far.
Okay. And is Detect Magic still up?
Yeah,
Like it didn't
lasts
catch on these things?
10 minutes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's still residuals of the spell she cast in the air.
Sure.
Beyond that, it's a hallway.
Are there any new open doorways?
Nope.
But was the creature blocking a hallway, or was it at the end of a dead end?
It was at the end of a dead end.
Okay.
It was actually
Well, then
set
I'm gonna-
into the back wall, if you remember the original description.
I vote we go back to the room with all the doors, the gravity room, and we blow some more doors open.
I'm cool with that. I'm gonna bring these gems
Ooh, pretty.
in pick them both up in a mage hand and look at them closer up first.
They
Kind of.
seem like definitely cut rubies. Beyond that, though, there's nothing remarkable about them.
I can fetch a nice price, I'm sure.
Do you poke them?
Yeah, I poke him.
Okay. Anything happen?
We all blow up.
Cool.
Obviously.
Yeah, on them.
You guys all have extra characters, right?
Yep. It's called Good Night.
All right.
So do you all go back to the room? So you go back to the room.
Yeah, if we got to a dead end.
Nothing much has changed. The only two doors you haven't tried yet are there's a closed door to the south. There's a closed door to the east.
I'm going to
I thought we did the east ones.
one of
We went
one
through
of
an
the east
archway and
ones
came
looped
around to the other
around.
side of the closed door.
Yeah, there was.
Yeah.
Just to make things simpler, there are other doors in here you've already tried.
Okay.
The only ones you haven't tried are south and east.
Before we go in, I take a few test steps to make sure the trap hasn't reset itself. The magic on the trap.
Okay, make me a dex. No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
No, it seems that not enough time has passed. If I remember correctly, didn't Willow cast dispel magic?
Kata did.
Kata did. There we go. So yeah, since you still have your detect magic on, you can see the remnants of the trap, but it is definitely broken.
Okay. There's one more door to blow up. Let's blow it up.
Technically two. Because you have door
Same
to the
time.
south,
Same time.
door to the east.
I start shooting fire at the east one.
Okay. You said the east one?
Yep.
Okay. As you fire, is it firebolt you're doing?
Yeah.
Go ahead and make me an attack roll.
28.
Definitely hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
17. 23. 22.
So as you let fire this spout of flame, as it hits the door, you see a small explosion as you've learned to control this and amplify the power. And you lose sight of the door for a second. And when you look again, the door is scorched where it hit. Beyond that, nothing.
I thoroughly enjoy the mysteries of this door. And I continue shooting fire at it.
Okay. You fired another couple blasts at it because it looks like a standard wooden door. It's locked, but other than that, every time you hit it, you expect to burn off different portions or something. Nothing. It just keeps hitting over again. You're leaving more scorch marks, but beyond that,
This east door is not burning as it should. I don't like it anymore. I look south. That is the other door.
Mhm.
I introduce fire to that door.
What are these doors made of?
The other ones were just wood.
They look like they're made of wood, though actually going up to them would give you a better idea. Obviously, the one on the east can't be just made of wood because it's not reacting correctly.
Mm. Avac's gonna take a closer look at the east door.
As you get close and you look at the grain and everything, something seems slightly off. And as you touch it, it's not wood. The door has been painted meticulously to look like wood, but this is stone.
That's odd.
Huh.
I'm interested if that stone will break Avok.
Yeah.
It is a pretty thick, heavy door, but you've knocked down bigger things.
Yeah. Okay. And I try to break down the door.
Okay, make me a strength athletics check.
Okay. Okay. That's 27.
So as you shoulder charge into it, the first thing you feel is a popping sensation as your shoulder gets slightly dislocated. You push through the pain and you do slam the door. You hear something break that's not you. And the door kind of gets pushed in a little bit on an odd angle. You think you've broken one of the hinges and the locking mechanism, but the door is technically still in the way. However, as you walk back, you do feel you have injured your arm a little bit.
That sucks.
Oh, just for ease.
I look at Avok hitting the door and I heal myself.
I have you take 2 points of bludgeoning damage from the door.
Okay.
You think, however, at this point, because one of the hinges is broken and the lock is broken, if you could just get something to kind of pry it, you could open it easy now.
Okay. I think my axe can do
Yep.
that, right?
Mhm.
Alright. Use my axe to pry it open.
So just giving yourself a little bit of a lever. Pry it open. The door eventually just falls off, barely hanging on one of the hinges, open. You're relatively certain it won't be closing anytime soon. Beyond it, you
Anything down
can
that way?
see a hallway that ends in a dead end and another hallway that snakes off to the south and then turns back east.
Okay. And the south door, did Fade succeed in burning that one, or is that one also stone?
Yeah, we'll say Fade was able to set it on fire. It's still in the doorway, burning, but
But it was wood.
yeah. You also noticed there was no locking mechanism on that door.
Oh, good.
So as it
We're
smolders,
distracted.
you can just kind of kick it down, go through.
Well, I thought we go with the cryptic stone wood door.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
All right. Let's go.
So as you guys start following this path, it does wind around a bit, and looks like it's going to double back on itself at one point, but then turns, and eventually you get to a T intersection, and then just slightly beyond it is another T intersection, then a dead end. So you want to take the first left or the second?
Oh, okay. And is that left as? What direction is that now?
You're currently facing, because you've again twist and turn. You're currently facing
Right.
east, so both hallways go north.
North. Okay. Um, let's try the first one. Here we go.
Okay,
Uh,
go
Uh,
ahead.
question to Will or Fade. Don't you guys have like familiars or something that you've been using? Yeah.
Yes, we do. Ellie flies off her shoulder and goes down the hall. The
Okay.
first one.
So it goes up about 20 feet. It takes another turn. The your familiar is able to fly a little ways away, and it notices that the hallway keeps kind of this labyrinthian twists and turns, but eventually you get another choice of two hallways further down.
Okay. Should I assume that, Fade, you've sent the Raven down the second one?
No,
Okay.
I'm not risking her.
Okay. Then my hawk will fly back and fly down the second one and just see.
Okay, the second one is much shorter. It turns the corner and immediately is met with this incredible darkness. Even with its dark vision, it can't actually see the end of this hallway, so it stops immediately. And as you kind of look through its eyes, you see the hallway doesn't just like slowly get darker or something. There is a what looks like kind of a circular kind of porthole that looks almost natural, because you can see some like stalactites and stalagmites growing around it, but literally right on the other side of these growths is just pure black nothingness.
Gross.
Okay. So I come out of that, and so one way is another long twisty hallway, multiple choices, and the other one is magical darkness?
I'm sure everything's fine there.
Oh, totally. Yeah. I don't like that, but that feels like how we're probably supposed to go.
Can I look at your map for a minute?
I mean, it's super scrawled, but yeah.
Is there any rhyme or reason or pattern that I can discern off of what she's tracked thus far? Like overall, is this in a certain shape? Is there a pattern that's evolving as we map out more?
Not that I can tell, but I don't know. Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead and roll an intelligence check, Fate.
Oh yeah, +3. I rolled a 14, 17.
Okay, so looking this over, it almost seems intentionally confusing, like it very much the word labyrinthian fits, like there are dead ends constantly, hallways spiral around themselves. Like this is meant to confuse someone, but you are slowly making your way through. There seems to be an optimal path that does lead somewhere, but you have to make your way through all these just hallways designed to disorient and confuse you.
Okay.
Right now, from what you can see, you entered the dungeon. Just to use easy stuff. You entered in the upper left-hand corner, and you are getting to the upper right-hand corner at this point. And where you saw that thing that you're looking for is to the south, about a third of the way down. So you're getting closer and closer to your goal. You just, every time you get close to it, you find another dead end, or it turns the wrong direction. Makes it very difficult without a full map to be able to tell if you're making progress or not.
So I'm, like I said before, this dragon wants us to either survive or outsmart. Does that seem like a fair assumption?
Yep.
So I'm getting pretty annoyed with the survive part of this. I know we haven't spent much time in here, but if I were to take a significant amount of time and reconvene with what's left of the DL in this plane, I can adapt. I can change the spells that I have ready. Does that make sense? I can use different stuff. I can adapt, but it's going to take some time.
How long?
Okay.
I would request either taking a couple hours. I know that's not appealing, but I could introduce a lavish spread of food for you to partake in that you all could consume for an hour. And we've done that before. That'll help in any dragon situation. But I need, Jody, you determine how long this is. I need a long rest to change prepared spells.
Well, it would require an 8-hour rest. So you guys would basically need to make camp down here.
We'd kill a whole day.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't feel good from the fucking gears that eat our faces. I'm sure you guys are fine, but that hurt me emotionally and physically.
Yeah, it's fair.
If we could spend that time, it's up to you. I mean, if we push through this, that's fine. Otherwise, something that I've been, no, I cannot. TJ,
Just pick.
No.
Fade has the ability to find the path, but it would take a long rest to prepare that. That would be pretty helpful.
We could go relax in the tavern.
I wouldn't mind that.
Are we okay with setting up down here, though?
Will that work underground?
Yeah, sure. That's anywhere.
Let's kill the day. I need to adapt to this ridiculous situation that this stupid dragon has forced us into. Keep in mind, we're not going to have eyes everywhere. It's probably going to reset all the shit we've already done.
Oh, true. Sure.
So that's what I want to do. I'm open to what you guys want to do, but I'm very tired of this already.
Hey, real,
I'm tired of it. Go ahead, Jody.
Real quick, guys. I'm gonna just quick refresh. So yeah, be right back.
Okay.
If everyone could just refresh, that'd be good.
Yep.
Okay.
Sorry, folks. Technical difficulties. All right. There's Katie.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. My computer rebooted itself earlier.
Gotta love it.
Yeah.
All right.
So I don't know if you heard, but they've decided to take a long rest.
Yeah, I heard that part.
Yep. Just waiting on Willow and Fade to get back.
Yeah, I can
Uh,
see Willow.
I
Just
can see
not
everyone.
Fade.
Oh, fun. I'm gonna try reconnecting again. Come on, Willow, you can do it.
There you are.
I've got everyone but Willow.
No. Yeah, until just a second ago.
Refresh, Willow.
Yeah, she's frozen on my screen as well.
All right. Well, while we're waiting, since you all agreed, uh, let's say Willow casts her magnificent mansion. You guys head into your tavern to rest and recuperate. Since you are going to have 8 hours, is there anything anyone wants to do to prep either before they go to bed or after they wake up?
I think. I mean, does the group want to spend 1,000 gold for a hero's feast? Is that worth it? It is a dragon encounter, but it's still a ton of money. And the goal is not to fight it, so.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't want to fight it.
Yeah, I can see everyone.
Let me try refreshing one more time. Nobody else do this. You're killing me, roll 20. You really are. Come on. I literally have everyone but Willow. I don't understand.
Yeah, me too.
Try reconnecting. There. I've got everybody. Hooray.
No,
Oh, please.
Come on, give me Mike.
I've lost Mike.
All
Did
right.
you say for everyone to
No,
refresh
please.
again, or
No.
Nope. Okay, I
Everyone
think
see
I'm good.
everyone else?
Yeah, I'm good.
no?
I don't see Katie.
I can see everyone. Come on.
I
people.
could,
To
and then she disappeared.
go into settings and hit reconnect. Do not refresh.
There we go.
No, I can see her. No, and now I've lost Mike.
No.
All right, is everyone good? I can see everyone.
Yes.
Yep.
I can see
Okay.
clearly now.
Okay, cool. So you're in the mansion. Roll 20, you're up. Really thinking about using a different video chat. Just haven't found one that works. All right. So,
I'm changing my spell list pretty substantially here.
okay,
So I'll be quiet for a minute.
this fine. The rest of you guys, any prep work you want to get before you
Let's see what have I got.
Willow, just for fun, will probably be making drinks for everyone behind the bar and trying to chill, and then also helping Fade study.
Okay.
Yep, keep them coming.
Darn it.
What's up?
I can't use commune with nature here.
Jody, question. When
Fade answer.
when the dragons all attacked us when we first got to the mountaintop
Mhm.
back here, was this emerald dragon involved in that attack or no? I don't recall.
No.
Okay.
You had a red and a blue dragon that you actually killed, and I think there was one other.
It was just a green then. It
It
wasn't
was a
a emerald.
green, not emerald.
Okay.
I think the chromatics are the ones being rambunctious.
Yeah.
I could be.
I am so versatile. I own this dungeon now.
Fuck this dungeon.
Fade just turned into Dungeon Man.
Well, another.
Yay for Earthbound.
And Orello tosses another one over.
Okay.
Cheers. I love this place. I hate the dungeon, but I love this.
So as you guys kind of finish sleeping and getting ready in the morning, everything, who's gonna leave first?
I have a reason to
imagine-
go out there.
Okay, so Fade, when you get to the door and you open it, the first thing you notice is that the ambient light from the tavern stops just outside the door. And as you go ahead and make me a perception makes sense.
I accept your suggestion, and I roll a whopping 13.
Oh,
So looking around, you notice that the light does hit the floor, but it stops about 3 or 4 feet in. And as you look even closer, you notice that this darkness is not like a wall. It is a convex shape.
Well, I'd be interested in dispelling it then.
Okay. So as you sit there and you concentrate on it and you cast the spell, nothing happens. Now you've seen magical darkness before. It creates a sphere of darkness that's 20 foot in diameter. The convex nature of it is not large enough to be a 20-foot sphere. It's much closer to about a 5-foot sphere.
Jesus God. I dive back into the house, or into the mansion.
You haven't actually gone out. You were in the doorway, basically.
Okay, cool. Okay, that's good at least.
I was going to say I was definitely there too.
Yeah. So you guys
So-
both would have been right there.
So, does it look exactly like the thing that I saw down the other hallway before?
Somewhat. Your familiar was not able to get the look you are because there wasn't a light source for your familiar. It was just dark
Sure.
vision.
Okay, that's fair.
So you have a much better look at it, but it is just a sphere of just pure darkness. Is all you can tell.
What's
I
going
point-
on?
Have I ever seen anything like that before?
That doesn't dispel. That's weird. I don't like it.
Say again, Willow.
Have I ever seen anything like it before, or what I've read about something like
Yeah.
it?
Jody, you
History
motherfucker.
Okay, support
Uh.
the character. Or knowledgeable person. But still, Jody, you're a motherfucker.
Jody's gonna love what I'm about to try.
Okay.
So, looking this over, you're trying to figure out some sort of spell that could create this kind of thing, and you're coming up blank over and over again. Any spell you can think of that creates a darkness so intense makes a much larger area. And to be perfectly honest, a 5-foot sphere of darkness isn't worth anything. Because all you'd have to do is walk 5 feet forward, you'd be out of the darkness. Doesn't make any sense. You keep trying to figure out what it is. And in the very back corners of your mind, you think this can't be a spell. There's magic involved.
I want it.
But this can't be a spell. Because it's just too localized to be an actual spell. Maybe a magic item of some sort, or maybe a magic-based trap, but you can't really identify.
I would like to do stuff. Willow, I have thoughts.
Please. It's definitely not a spell, at least that I can tell. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking that part of what the Dark Lady has delivered me here to do is to embrace the shadow. It's literally one of the powers that she just gave me. So I put my gauntlet up, and I touch the rune of Shadow's Embrace. And say...
But not the thing, please.
No, I don't touch the thing. No. Don't be ridiculous.
This game was just about to get a lot crazier.
Mike has recently used something of this nature. Mike is not interested, but Fade will try to embrace it.
Avok knows nothing, but Dave knows something.
So, you have to concentrate a little harder on the rune of Shadow's Embrace, because you're not in shadow or darkness. But you create it, you can feel kind of the shadows absorb into you. You can feel that kind of warm embrace that you feel as the protection of shadows falls over you.
And then I think about this entity, or whatever it is, generating this darkness. Do I feel any connection to it?
No. You did realize, because you guys can actually watch the shadows move from, like, because there's candlelight and stuff, there's little shadows all around. And you watch the shadows actually kind of creep their way and get dragged into Fade. You can almost see like this little dark outline around Fade as this rune is enacted. You guys notice that none of the shadows came from this sphere.
Well,
and Fade, you would have realized that too.
It's a 5-foot area.
Mm-hmm.
Is it approximately the size and or shape of these tunnels?
It's 5 foot by 5 foot, so it's actually the hallway is about 10 feet high, and it's 5 foot wide. So it goes to the very edge of the width of the hallway, but it's actually floating right on the bottom. So you can actually see a little bit above it. You can see the roof above it.
The mystery of how these tunnels were made is still bothering me.
So, if I recognize that it's not a spell, I guess, can I identify or just understand the arcana of it? I don't know.
Well, something no one has thought of yet. There are other ways to test things that don't involve spells and knowledge.
Remember when I got that big pole and I broke it into 3 parts?
Oh, yeah.
I now put the pieces back together and mend them, and I tried poking it with a big 10-foot pole.
you feel almost no resistance as you push it in. And how far do you want to push it in?
I just try to like poke the edge of it, see if it moves, if it's a tangible object.
No, you any pressure at all is almost as if you're pushing against nothing.
I pull my pole back in and look
It
at the
is
end.
shorter than it used to.
Oh.
I am thoroughly intrigued by this and want to jump in, but I won't.
As you look at it, it doesn't even look like it was burned or anything. It just ends right where the edge of the pole that went in was.
I would like to take
Oh, that's not good.
something wide.
Okay.
And has it moved at all while we've been here? First of all,
Well, it wasn't there when you went to sleep last night.
since we've had eyes on it.
Oh no, it is completely stationary. If you didn't know any better, you would think it had always been there. It is not moved at all.
I will continue my experimentation and attach or fix something. I don't know. Oh, I guess nothing from in here stays. Okay.
Technically, no. Once it would reach the end, it would just disappear.
I don't really have
For a
anything that I can
different
get rid
reason.
of. Right. I need something big that doesn't matter. So I look in my pack and find maybe like a shovel or a pickaxe or some shit.
Sure. Let's. You would definitely have a shovel. I think you've used it before.
I take said shovel and with the spade part of it, I want to like come at this thing like this just to see like what happens when I put a little bit in and then I pull it out. My hypothesis is that whatever goes in doesn't come out, so I test it with the shovel.
So again, as you pierce the skin of this thing, there's absolutely no resistance. You would almost, because it's obviously physically there, so you kind of expect to have to push through some sort of membrane. It's nothing. And as you sit there and you just go in, you bring the spade back out, and there is a perfectly cut shape that matches the outer shape of this sphere.
You know, Dragon, I really like this shovel. I've buried a lot of people with this shovel, and now I'm a little bit upset.
Darn it.
I step back fully into the mansion and say, so I show them, I break the pole apart, put the pole back in, I show them the shovel and say, whatever goes in doesn't come out. So we cannot go in that thing. It's very important that no one goes in that thing.
Okay.
Okay.
Noted.
Okay, so how do we get around it?
It is currently blocking it's literally right outside your mansion. The only space you have is, again, it's only 5 foot and the hallway is 10 feet high. So technically you've got roughly 5 foot clearance up above it.
And it is a 10-foot tall door, so yeah.
I mean, we could certainly jump and not fail a check or anything.
I mean, we could also build stuff up on this side, and we could climb over. I would hate for it to move in that process. I'd rather have it moved out of the way. I don't know how to do that.
So now that Fate has given you a little better idea of what this is, go ahead and roll me an Arcana check, Willow. Because you're the only person that might have ever been near this.
That is a 22.
So, thinking really hard, trying to figure out what this is. Again, back when you were under the Gaius, you had access to the Eladrin Library, and you remember reading about a wizard thousands of years ago that went absolutely mad. And decided to build this labyrinth in the Feywild. He created this castle and then dug out underneath it, created this crazy labyrinth. And one of his absolute favorite things he discovered, no one has figured out what created it. It was this thing called a sphere of annihilation.
Oh no!
And he would put them in areas where people wouldn't expect, and they would simply walk into them and cease to be. However, in order to control them, move them, there was a gauntlet that came with it that allowed a mage of sufficient ability to be able to move it. But to your knowledge, no one has ever been able to create one. This mage simply found one and used it a lot, and became kind of famous for it.
So did he make the gauntlet he used to control them? Did he find that?
He found the gauntlet first, and when he used it,
Oh, okay. Gotcha. I will relay all that to the group.
Oh, that's just fucking tastic.
So someone is probably controlling them. I mean, we knew they knew we were here. They can't come into the mansion, but it will disappear 24 hours and we get pushed out. So we need to figure it out before that time.
Well,
Okay,
not to
we've
turn
got-
into a bird. Willow can
I can also
get
do
thrown
that, yes.
or turn into a
Well,
bird.
no,
Or
turn
even
someone else.
smaller
Or
things
fly.
as well.
Yeah.
we can use a lot of stuff to get around it.
Avok, my man, if you want to let me hold you like a baby, I can just bamf us a couple feet past it.
I mean, you can ban, just no holding.
No, I have to. That's how this magic works. I have to hold you like a baby, swaddled in my arms. I'm telling you, this is not me. This is how the magic is. Trust me. Willow and I have been working on some stuff. This is how this works. I'm willing to do this for you.
Waiting for him to get this swaddling cloth out.
Can I tell if he's bullshitting?
If you like to roll an insight check, content.
It's pretty good. 19.
Fade, you know what to roll.
Well, I mean, I definitely didn't tell Willow about it, so I'm lying about that. As well as everything else. With my 4.
Yeah, he.
Well, but Willow probably taught you the spell.
All right, fine. Find your own way. I don't care. And I stick my head out and I bamf on the other side of it.
Okay. So, make me a perception check, Fade.
14.
Okay. So as you kind of bamf, almost blind, like you can see over it, as you land, you feel the air tingle a little bit, and as you look down, you see a rune at your feet that is fading. And as it happens, you watch the darkness start slowly moving towards you.
Yeah. It's a heat-seeking missile. I move in a direction that is not directly the way it's moving and see if it follows.
Well, you're in a hallway, so you don't really have a whole lot of choice. From where you are right now, you have the pathway north that Willow's bird went, or you have a dead end behind you. and the other pathway behind you where this thing used to be sitting. Where do you want to go?
I immediately start moving away from said thing while tracking its speed to see if it increases speed or not, and say, Team Rocket is blasting off again.
Oh my
And I
god!
fucking book it.
So, which path are you choosing? The
First
dead
one
end?
on the right.
Okay. It's on. So you start going north. As you go, I need a dex save.
Oh god.
If it's moved, I've started racing after.
12.
I.
So as you run forward, you come to a corner, and you kind of stick your gauntlet out to try and spin yourself around the corner. As you go around, though, the floor beneath you gives, and you plummet about
Do I see
30
that?
feet.
Do I see that?
No, the thing is behind me.
No, he's you got a sphere. You would hear the thud.
Oh, the sphere was only.
You
No, I
take.
suppose I'm small. That's fine.
Well, he turned a corner, and so yeah, you don't
That's
have line of sight on him. You take 10 bludgeoning damage and 5 piercing damage from the pointy spikes at the bottom.
Ouchie! The rune disappeared when I stepped on it, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or it was fading as you saw the things starting to come toward you.
Chasing me is called fading.
So, I don't get it.
I cast a message to Fade and just shout, "What the fuck did you? Why is it following you?"
I don't know, babe. I'm
Willow,
doing my best to not die
what
here,
you
though.
see is it starts moving away. Which, like, that's good. And then you hear very quick sound of heavy footsteps running. And you're trying to figure out, and the sphere keeps moving, and you watch it turn
And
a
I-
corner, and
I
then
follow.
you hear, boom.
Yep. I follow, so turn the corner. I want to see
It's
if the sphere is going to
moving.
try and go down the hole.
Pretty slow.
Okay.
Probably about 5 feet every about 10 seconds.
Oh,
So
cool.
when it
Awesome.
turns the corner, it's got it's got about 40 seconds before it's going to get to where Fade is.
Okay. I can't see him in there. Cool.
We can message. It's just a range.
Mhm.
So what do I do?
No, I know.
I message Willow and say,
I-
let it come near me.
Oh,
Don't do anything yet.
why?
Then I recast message because I'm down in a 30-foot hole, and if it comes down here, I can try to bamf away and remove the effect that's on me that's making it chase me. And maybe I can lock it in this pit.
I thought you could only do that once a day.
20
Oh, I have the
seconds.
spell now, too.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Okay.
So
So she will.
I get as
Follow
far
behind
into the
it.
corner as I can get. This is not going to work well.
Okay.
I'm going to die here. And
No!
as
You're
You
sitting
are
there.
not!
You see the darkness start coming over, and you realize that once it's completely over you, it will block your line of sight to be able to bamf out.
Okay, then I've put myself into a corner, so I will then prepare I will ready a dispel magic for once it is 15 feet away. So when it's like halfway down,
Okay.
I will
You
cast
you
dispel
can
magic.
bamf
Fall
out
on it
before
before.
it completely covers if you want.
I just looked at my spell list, and that is not something I changed, so I am gonna die down here.
Okay.
But so I'm going to prepare a dispel magic for when it gets near me,
Okay.
and I'm going to cast it at 5th level,
Okay.
and hopefully the tracker stops. Otherwise, I'm going to do some fucking James Bond like roll to the other side of the pit and try to climb out. Then
All right. So as you sit there and it's getting closer and closer, it gets over the pit and then starts descending. Willow, you watch it as it gets shorter in shorter.
Does it completely encompass the pit? Like there's no line of sight around it?
The pit is 5 foot by 5 foot, and it is a 5 foot sphere. So around each of the corners there will be some space.
Can I see Fade?
Once it descends low enough, yeah, through an angle you can see him. You see him sitting there preparing some spell.
I cast Polymorph on him and turn him into a raven.
Okay.
Oh.
You would have realized that the space is not quite wide enough for a raven to get through.
Okay, whatever is small enough that can fly to get
bug.
out. Okay.
Bug will have no problem. Fade, as you're sitting there getting ready to cast Dispel Magic, you suddenly start feeling magic start to change you. And what's the save? Is that a wisdom save on Polymorph?
It is, but if he is willing.
Well,
yeah, that's what I'm going to
order of
give
events.
him. I'm going to give him a choice.
True, I didn't tell you.
You didn't tell me.
You do feel,
I'll tell you now.
and you've been polymorphed before. You recognize the spell.
Sure, but I also didn't tell her that I was going to dispel a thing. So I think we have to let this play out.
Fair. Yeah, it's wisdom.
So I'm going to try to resist because I'm not a willing creature.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So what is the save for that?
Wisdom.
Oh boy.
Yep.
12.
Hey.
I'm a bug.
17.
So as you
You're a bug.
go, you were storing a spell, because the bug can't cast spells. The spell fizzles out.
Fuck yeah.
But as it's going down, you can see. Technically, the bug wouldn't have dark vision, but Willow, you would have thought of that. And do you have the light cantrip?
Nope.
You have torches on you. I'm saying
Totally.
So,
No, actually, I brought that up last week because of light and locate object being concentration. I did mention that we pulled out actual torches, so I think that's been a thing that's happening.
Just so you can see a point, and you are able to very carefully go, and the sphere of annihilation settles at the bottom of this hole.
Is Bug Me near it still?
You flew up. You're near Willow. Willow's at the edge of the pit.
Is the sphere chasing Bug Me?
Nope. It just settled on the bottom.
I fly into... Oh, this is a good question. Do I buzz in Avok's ear? He might try to kill me. So I think that's what I do.
Technically, Avok is back in the mansion. Willow's the only one that.
I follow. I
okay.
follow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I try to fly into his ear.
No, in my ear even.
I just get this vision of Kata.
Yeah, I just.
Oh, you might actually eat me. Fuck. Go ahead. Take a chomp. What's my AC as a bug?
Hey, okay, who's...
No, I would just try to, pounce on you.
Yeah.
Cats play with
she's
their
annoying.
food before they eat them.
Yeah, they do.
So anyway,
Willow is just
danger averted. You guys do still have a large pit with a sphere of death at the bottom in front of you.
Willow is just staring down at it. Breathing a little heavy.
Fucked up shit right there.
Willow, until you drop it, he stays.
Oh, yeah. Well, did you fire Eva?
I'm by Willow. She's playing, so I'm trying to bite her.
Wow.
I flick at it, and if that doesn't kill him, I'll drop it.
Great. So Willow just backhands you, and Fade as your one hit point goes away. You still have the momentum, and it just slams you into the wall.
Oh, is the thing moving still?
No.
Doesn't
Okay.
seem-
Nope.
I told you I get us past it.
You're so stupid.
You would have died. You would have fucking died. Again.
How is this
Oh.
getting past it is still in front of us in a way.
No, it's a pit. We don't have to worry about the pit. Let's go back the other way.
Wait, which way were we going?
There's one other door that Fade torched.
The south door.
No, the whole point of this was to cast Find the Path.
Oh yeah, that's a thing.
We
Hey,
don't know.
I thought you were prepping like stone shape or something.
I had that. I got rid of it. I took locate object, locate creature, all the magic utility spells, find the path, legend lore. That's actually the one that I wanted to try first, so you can learn about the dragon.
That's a cool one. That would have taught you a lot.
And that's actually what I want to do at this point. If we have a moment, let's go back to not next to this ball of death, please.
Why did it start following you to begin with?
Oh, I stepped on a thing that made it follow me. I didn't mean to, but it happened. There's a glyph on the ground. You know about glyphs. They're like magic shit. Yeah. I can do some of those
Can we
now.
find it again?
I don't see it anywhere.
You
Do we see like where it was left?
You guys go back to where Fade bamfed out, and the floor is stone. It seems that the glyph was entirely arcane in nature, and once it was activated, it disappeared. That's the thing with glyphs is once they're done, they're just gone. You don't carve them in; they're just an arcane symbol.
So I want like 20 minutes to cast spells. Once I feel comfortable enough. Is everyone cool? That was a fun morning exercise. I feel limber.
Willow goes back into the tavern, downs a drink, and then goes to stand in the doorway. Wait.
Still got about 16 hours left to drink if you need it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Willow, can you give me a glass of a pick me up?
Yeah, shoot. I lost Dave.
I
Should I
am.
still be able to see him?
No, I don't see him either. He'll probably
Okay.
come back sometime.
I would like
Well,
to
in the meantime, Willow is getting him a drink.
Yep.
be sad that I disappointed Willow, and happy that I played with Kata, and then sad because I don't know anything about this stupid dragon yet, even its name, and I want to fix that. So I take 10 minutes and I cast Legend Lore, which would allow me to describe a person, place, or object. In this case, I'm going to describe the dragon and its abilities and stuff, and hopefully it will bring to mind a brief summary of the significant lore about the thing you name. It might consist of current tales, forgotten stories, or even secret lore that has never widely been known.
This is the coolest thing.
It's really awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome when it works.
The
Is
information
it
you
something
learn,
you just know,
yeah,
or is it like spoken aloud?
it could go badly. Is the information?
The
Yeah.
way I see it is kind of, he has his own like private Google search. You know, the image is kind of presented to him, and
Yes!
I've invented the internet.
Fade is now the CEO of Fantasy Google.
Fantasy Google, where you can search for shit.
And Avok is head of marketing. So as you sit there, you don't learn a ton more. You know, it's an emerald dragon. They're They have the ability to control sonic waves and breathe them out as a breath. They do have a propensity. They're actually unlike some other dragons where they look on humans as kind of lesser beings, like you know what's the word, pests, or some like the chromatic dragons especially look on them as just kind of like pack animals. Emerald dragons find the mortal races fascinating. They love to learn about them. They don't like interacting with them. And they have a propensity for labyrinthine layers. They like to have very confusing layers and things like that. And for traps and puzzles and things like that, they're highly intelligent, but they don't really they don't do it out of malice, and they also don't have a huge amount of altruism. They are very much neutral. They see humans and the mortal races in general as interesting to study, but don't feel strongly one way or the other as far as them being alive.
So my eyes glow magenta for a moment, and my mind is flooded with all this pertinent information from one DM trainer, Jody. And I will then close my eyes and open them. Normal fate eyes are back, and I will go into the bar, find the crew, and start to postulate a possible social encounter where we don't all die. Presenting.
You probably would have learned as far as Emerald Dragon layers. A lot of times with dragons, as they create their layers, they take on certain aspects. With Emerald Dragons, they craft their layers. So they're more likely than not, there's going to be traps, both mechanical and magical, that the dragon can just activate at will.
Oh,
Okay.
that's why we didn't see it last night.
Mm-hmm.
And I will
realm of layer actions. That's what you can expect.
Yeah.
I will go over the details of what I believe this dragon, the motivations behind it may be, and that if we are to survive a conversation with it, if we can get to it, we will need to offer as much information that is not widely known as possible, and perhaps suggest an exchange of information, ideas, and help if the situation arises. It has to be a learning experience for all parties involved. After all that comes spewing out of my vomit hole, I will go back outside. After letting everyone know I'm going to attempt to track this thing down now, if you guys are ready, and I will then cast Find the Path to the dragon that I previously learned a whole bunch more about.
Yeah.
Okay.
So goodbye 5th level slots. Goodbye 6th level slots.
So you, in your mind's eye, I believe it's only you can see it, right?
Pulling it up. Here it is. It says it's up to you. You can put an arrow on the floor
for right now. You see kind of a path of this deep indigo flame along the ground that goes over the pit, curves around, and you now have a path to follow. Do you know how long it lasts?
This is a concentration spell that can last up to a day.
Oh, wow. So, yeah.
So I'm going to make sure everyone understands that I currently need to not get touched by anything other than Willow. And Um, this is the most direct route, so it will be the shortest, but not necessarily trap proof. As you see the trap right in front of us, that is the shortest way.
As we go past it, out of curiosity, Will looks down through the goggles at Sphere.
At what are you looking at?
Or if we're going to cross over the trap, where the sphere is.
Oh, so you're looking at the sphere itself. Which lens are you using?
The crimson one.
Okay.
Which is, yeah.
So as you look at it with the lens, the thing that you find most interesting normally is you put one of these lenses on, your eye is naturally drawn towards targets, almost like a heads up display type thing. With this, you can't even focus on it with the lens on.
Okay.
So how do you guys want to get over this pit?
How large is the gap?
It's a 5 foot by 5 foot, but it's in a corner. So you have a corner, and then the hallway continues. So theoretically, if you were to just go around the corner, you only have like a foot or so gap you have to go over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's small enough to just like sidle around the edge, right?
Yeah. Now, again, it is kind of awkward to do it, so it will take a dexterity acrobatics check.
Oh boy.
Is there anything on the other side of the pit that we could tie a rope to?
No, it's a wall. However, there's nothing to stop you from tying ropes to yourselves.
Yeah.
Hang on. What's my rope length right now?
I'm out of rope. I threw it in the bottom of a pit a long time ago.
I've got 35 feet worth.
That rope. I've got 50 feet of rope. We have plenty of rope.
Okay, well,
Okay, here's what I'm thinking, guys. How's about we take a bit of rope, just not too long, and we pair off, like tie around one end to one person, the other end to another person, and then one at a time we go across, and on the off chance one of us slips, we can catch each other.
Good idea.
I would appreciate it.
So,
All right.
with that set up, who wants to go first?
Avok's gonna go first.
Okay.
Oh,
So go ahead and give me a dexterity acrobatics check.
that's my acrobatics. Where's it? Could be better. All right, that is a 19.
Okay, you have no problem. You swing yourself around. You're fine.
Okay. Oh.
Next,
Okay.
Well, yeah. So I guess Kata, you would be attached to me, so you would go
Okay.
next.
Alright.
Yep.
Oh, that's pretty good. 21.
yeah, Kata. The rope never even goes taut. You just kind of leap around, land very gracefully on the other side.
I will look at Willow and say, I will catch you if you don't make it. So you need to go first. And I will tap you on the back and give you a guidance, which is a D4 for your check here.
Oh. 13.
Okay.
With a 4 on the D4.
So you, as you're going around, your foot slips a little bit. You're like, ooh, ooh, grip onto the corner as much as you can. Avok kind of reaches over, and so does Kata, and you are able to make it around. But you have that brief burst of adrenaline as you start to feel yourself falling, and then kind of climber back up.
All right.
I would recommend you untie yourself and give that end of the rope to Avok, please.
Yeah, Avok
Yeah.
is going to insist.
And
Avok like wraps around his arm, steps
Bro.
back.
like, bro, you got me, bro.
Get your ass over here.
I will make said check. +3, and then a D4. Oh, so I rolled a 5, so it's an 8. And then D4 is a 1, so I have a 9. And
Oh, God.
it's still going to get me, you guys.
Avok, as you're sitting there, you watch Fade start to
I reach up.
leave,
In your
go
arms.
around, and then you watch his other foot get caught on the edge, and he starts falling backwards. Go ahead and make a strength athletics check, Avok.
Yeah, that I can
I'll
do.
help.
Okay, you have it with advantage, Avok.
Okay, well, I have good athletics, so that's a 24.
Okay, so as Fade starts to go, Avok, Kata comes up and she grabs onto it to give you a little bit more help, and you just sit there like just one really large tug, and Fade just poof, flies over, falls right at your feet.
I look up. You complete me.
You're not allowed to die today. Let's go.
What she said.
Whatever.
Fine. I cast Death Ward on myself.
Good boy.
Oh, that would be really interesting if you fell into the sphere of annihilation with Death
Still
Ward.
dead. Still dead.
So now that you guys have a path to follow, you have very little trouble figuring out. Every time you come to an intersection, you know exactly where to go. I do need to know who's going to be in front, because you do have to kind of go single file.
Can't be me.
Okay, I'll take front.
So as you go through the winding, looping, after about 10, 15 minutes of going, Avok, you're the first one to notice. You smell something putrid, like rotten eggs and burnt cheese, and just this horrible, disgusting scent fills the entire hallway.
Oh,
Did you fart?
No, my farts aren't this bad. Ugh.
Stupid dragon.
Fuck.
I don't think
Anything
that's the dragon.
you guys want to do, or just keep going?
I want to send the hawk a feet ahead of us and just see if it's what's causing that.
Okay. The hawk flies about 30, 40 feet ahead, and the further away from where you guys are it gets, the less strong the scent is. But the hawk doesn't see anything.
Hey. I don't know what that is.
Would you like to investigate
Be
the
careful.
area?
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
Okay, roll an
We'll do-
investigation check.
Great. That is a 20.
So as you're looking around, trying to figure out what it is, you notice there's a crack in one of the corners of the hallway. And the closer you get to it, the worse the scent gets. And as you hold your breath and you look, there seems to be some sort of natural tunnel or little passage going from there into something beneath you guys that this scent is coming from.
Is our path going that way or going past?
No, it's just a because you're in a straight hallway and there's just a crack in the one of the corners where the floor meets the wall, and that's where the scent is coming from. You probably would recognize the smell of sulfur. I think yes, that's sulfur. Yeah. Smells like rotten eggs, and
Uh,
Oh.
it's very unpleasant.
Mhm.
But you do find it slightly odd that because sulfur is a volcanic
Yeah.
rock. There's no volcanoes around here.
No. There's something beneath us.
what do you mean?
Let's know. And she points to the crack.
Yeah,
That's coming from somewhere.
care to elaborate on that?
It's sulfur. It happens in volcanoes and bubbling, exploding kinds of places. Probably not good.
When we got into this whole maze of hell, was it in a mountain or something?
Technically, it was a hole dug into the ground
Oh,
in the
okay.
middle of a forest.
Yeah,
Okay.
To your
No,
knowledge,
wait.
Avon, because you've
but it could
you're
be an underground cave.
relatively familiar with Kael Isle, this is not a volcanic island.
Mhm.
The island of Draconis is volcanic, but where you guys are, there generally aren't any volcanoes.
Okay. I have to redact some statements.
There's no volcanoes in Kael. How far down have we gone?
It's a very good question.
Well, I'm sure we'll figure it out. Why don't we move away from this? Oh God, I smelled some shit before, but good Lord, that stinks.
So as you guys continue to follow this path, the hallway continues to twist and turn, and Evok, you as you're walking, the ground seems different to you as you start walking further down, and as your foot goes down, you feel the floor shift, and I need a deck save from you.
Okay. I do this with advantage.
Did he say that? Whatever.
That's going to be an 18.
So as you're sitting there moving forward, you realize that the floor seems different at first, and it finally clicks as you feel the floor start to drop out from beneath you. This is a
Oh,
trap,
fuck.
and you flip backwards into Willow, and you both kind of tumble down
Sorry.
to the ground as the floor
Sorry.
in front of you drops away. As you look down, there are tons of sharpened spikes at the bottom of this 20-foot pit.
Uh-huh.
That was...
Alrighty then.
How big's the gap?
Good job.
It's about 5 feet.
Okay.
Well, okay, he's the chump on this. I mean,
I actually, Jody, is this like the same thing as the hole with the?
This one is actually in a straight hallway. It's not in a corner, so you actually have to go over the full 5 feet.
Okay, Avok's gonna jump 5 feet
Yeah,
over.
what's your strength score again?
That's 18.
Yeah, you have no problem getting you get a running leap. You go over, no problem whatsoever.
That's not going to work for me. I have very, very short legs.
Hey, Kata, can you toss Willow over?
Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong.
I'm trying to think of what animal could be, just carry both of us over.
You also
Well, it's only
still
5
have
feet.
rope.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I had assumed you were gonna jump with a rope across, but I can also toss. It's 5 feet.
Yeah,
I mean, okay.
this is not.
No.
I'm not going to make you guys
Yeah.
roll if you can describe a logical way you would do this. Like this
Right.
is this
Do
is
like a
not
ba-
super hard.
Me and Ava can do like a baby swing.
Yeah. Or-
Swing over.
Right.
Yep. Mhm.
Uh,
Mhm.
yeah,
Do
cat
you, do you have
guys.
to swaddle her first, just like Avok?
I mean,
Carry me across it.
So, for the most part, Avok is tanky enough that he has no problem getting Kata and Willow across. Fade presents a slightly more difficult prospect because he's wearing heavy armor and he's a bigger guy. But even with that, Avok's able to get everyone across without too much difficulty.
That was it. Let's go.
All right, so as you keep going, you again start to just feel that little spider sense go off, and as your foot goes down, you hear a click, and suddenly, from the wall, you see these sharp points start rushing towards you, Avok. I need another Dex save.
I still have an advantage. That's going to be 16.
Okay. So as these spears start shooting out of the wall, you jump out of the way. One of them is able to just barely nick you. You take 4 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
And you watch as the trap starts to reset itself.
that wasn't the trap. There's something else to it. Probably another pit behind that step.
Can we look around and see if there's something else to it?
Make me an investigation check.
I hand you a 3 3/4 foot pole for you to poke around with.
That's a 25.
So there's a pressure plate that activates the trap, and other than that, you don't see anything in the immediate vicinity. Again, the hallway like twists and turns. You can't see more than about 10 feet in either direction.
Well, don't step here, and probably everywhere else, but definitely not here. Steps around it and
Yep.
continues forward.
Once you've kind of identified it, you guys can walk around it.
There.
A little bit further, Avok, as you're walking forward, right as you notice that the far end of the wall seems like pockmarked. Other than the rest of the walls are very smooth. That one just, I mean, it's got all these little holes, and as your foot steps down and you hear another click, you realize
Perception
Oh.
checks.
you guys aren't saying you're trying to find the traps, so
Shit. I'm sorry.
you just keep saying you're moving forward.
I'm sorry.
That's fine.
I have a past perception 16. Would that even mean anything?
Not with these. You need to be using investigation to find traps.
Gotcha.
Which is the best for me.
Then it's not your
I
job.
mean,
No.
I will happily do so, but if you did say you were at the front.
Well, as you step down, you realize projectiles are coming toward you. I need you and everyone else to make me dex saves.
You're coming right for us. Critical fail. Fuck yeah.
17.
Okay.
5.
Okay.
7.
Okay. So Avok, you press yourself up against the wall, and these little needles just go straight past you. Everyone else, 11 points of piercing damage as these little pin needle things pelt you all.
Ouch.
Yeah, that's gotta suck.
But why? Why is it doing
Would you
this to us?
looking for these? Please? Please? I don't want that again. Oh.
I'm sorry. I mean, I can't. You want to take lead? I mean,
Sure. I'm gonna step in front of Avok and continue to look every step.
Okay.
You pansy ass, Avok.
So, Willem, make me an investigation check.
Okay. That's a natural 20.
You see nothing.
Lols.
So as you guys continue to follow this path, you eventually come to a door that is significantly more elaborate than the ones you have seen. It is made of stone, but the stone itself is carved into this kind of bas relief, showing just a really beautiful picture of a dragon, and the stone itself is different from the rest of the stone. It actually has a green tint to it. And it's a set of double doors instead of a single door.
Are there any indents in the eyes?
No, it just looks very elaborately drawn or carved, I guess.
Yeah.
Does it look magical in some way, or is it just a really cool carving?
With how intricately it was, the picture on it, you would guess it was probably carved by magic, but there's nothing that would indicate that the door itself is magical.
Okay. Can I see if it looks trapped, or if it opens, or just without?
Make me an investigation check.
Okay. 28 to 11 night.
Not only can you not see any traps on it, you don't see a lock. It seems to just open inward.
Okay, well, doesn't look trapped, it doesn't look locked. Do we knock or we open it?
Riddle me this.
Oh, the dragon went.
Does Kata knock?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Kata, you get up there and you knock. It's like knocking on a wall. Like, this is really heavy stone.
And let's see if we can push it
try to be
open.
polite.
So as you
Let's try to open it.
as you start to push on it, the doors are very well balanced to where they don't require a significant amount of force to move them. But with Willow, with you not being super muscly, it does take a little effort. As you push it open, the first thing you notice is light shooting in from the room. And as you guys go into the room, you can see a relatively largish area. The room itself is about 30 feet wide and about 30 feet deep, and the ceiling goes up to about 30 feet as well. So you're in kind of just a box. However, along the sides of this room, there are overhangs and balconies and things like that. There's basically 3 levels to this room, and you can see stairs and things like that. And on the far wall, the 2 largest doors you've ever seen encompass the entirety of the far wall, 30 feet by 30 feet. Carved very much like the doors you saw before. And as you guys are all kind of observing the majesty, Avok, you, again, that little bit of danger sense peaks, and suddenly in front of you there's a clang of metal as this incredibly ornate spear crashes and sticks into the ground in front of you. As you look up, a feminine form with large leathery wings starts descending towards you. It reaches its hand out, and the spear in front of you disappears and appears in her hand again as she comes down, lands on the ground, and places the spear right up against your throat. As you look into the armored visage of Soligny. And that's where we're going to leave it for tonight.
Oh,
She's a fucking dragon knight now? Wow.
Want to thank everybody that tuned in. We always love having you guys here. If you've missed any of the episode, you want to see the rest of them, I do have all of these on my YouTube channels, youtube.com/TrainerJody. And you can watch the entire journey the guys have had. Thanks, Simon. Otherwise, that's all for me today, and I'll see you guys next time. All right? Bye-bye.
I mean.